It's 118 days with the Tudors. Today is 1572. And in this year, there was a widespread massacre of French Protestants in Paris, known as the St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre. So let's find out why that happened. So much like in England, France had endured years and years of religious tension. Don't forget that the Reformation isn't just something that happened in England. England's Reformation, the Henrician Reformation, was different, but this conflict between Protestantism and Catholicism is something that's been raging throughout Europe. So ever since about 1521, there have been conflicts between Catholics and Protestants in France. In particular, they have suffered the French Wars of Religion. Now, this began in 1562 with the massacre of 50 Protestants, and the Third War, as part of those wars of religion, ended in 1570, so very recently. Now, in a similar way to what we had in the War of the Roses, peace is attempted to be brought about by two mothers. So we have one that you've definitely probably heard of, the Catholic Queen Mother of France, who is Catherine de' Medici, and she has a daughter, Margaret of Valois. Now, she arranges for her daughter, so this Catholic daughter, to marry the Protestant son of the Queen of Navarre, Jean d'Albret. His son is Henry of Navarre. So these two are arranged to marry, very Romeo and Juliet. We've got a wedding between a Catholic and a Protestant, and this is arranged as a sort of a peace negotiation. It's going to happen in the August 22nd of 1572. Something quite odd happens while the wedding plans are going ahead, though. The Protestant mother of the groom, Jean d'Albret, dies in the June, and it's often been suggested that she was poisoned by Catherine de' Medici via some poisoned gloves. There's not evidence to ascertain whether that is true or not, but it definitely makes for an interesting story. Maybe we'll revisit in the future. So she is no longer there, but the wedding goes ahead. Now, the wedding takes place in Paris, which is Catholic at this time. So tensions are already high. The wedding draws a huge assembly, including lots and lots of important Protestant leaders. Now, these leaders have all had royal assurance that they are safe, despite being Protestant, that they are going to be treated with respect and they're going to be okay. However, a couple of days after the wedding, a Protestant admiral was wounded in an assassination attempt. Now, the Protestants were obviously pretty cross about this. So Catherine de' Medici and her son, Charles, the King of France, fear that there's going to be a mass uprising from the Protestants. So they authorise the killing of all the Protestant leaders that are there to ensure to kind of preempt what they think is going to happen. So the Protestant leaders are killed. So the Protestant leaders have been wiped out. However, everybody else starts to get involved in this, and it's not just the leaders that are killed. Everyone starts hunting down every Protestant that they can see, and they're absolutely hounded, and all of the Protestants that can be found, leader or just regular person, is massacred. Now, one person that witnesses this is actually Francis Walsingham. So we haven't covered him yet, but he is Elizabeth's spy master. He's normally at the English court. He was there in France, and he actually comes across his friend. His friend has just seen his two sons be murdered, and he has come to Walsingham for help, and Walsingham tries to get him to safety, but he doesn't quite manage it, and his friend is executed. But Walsingham obviously makes it safely back to the English court to let Elizabeth know what he's seen. The Protestants obviously believe that that this has all been a bit of a ruse in a way, and they've just literally been lured there to be executed. However, there is no evidence that there was forward planning for this. It does very much seem that it was a bit of a snap decision. However, Charles did close off the city, meaning that once the Protestants realised what was going on, they literally couldn't escape. So there you go. That's 1572. St Bartholomew's Day Massacre. I will see you tomorrow for 1573, when Edinburgh Castle is under siege. See you then.